What do we have for Aries, please? Nine of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the foundation of the reading. Ace of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy in reverse at the sacral of the reading. Aries, this goes along exactly with all the downloads that I got for you leading up into your reading. You're in this space right now and moving forward into the new year. And this actually aligns with the astrology perfectly. But it's an energy where you're really starting to make these foundational shifts in your life. Things having to do with stability. Things having to do with boundaries that you keep with people in your life. And really reevaluating all of the things that have been holding you back up until this point. And deciding moving forward that you're simply not going to put up with anybody standing in the way of you getting to a space where you're able to work on these things that you're very passionate about. Now, this could have to do with your career. It could be creative projects. It could be things having to do with your purpose. It could be all of those things. But whatever it is, you're simply not allowing people to stand in your way any longer. This Nine of Pentacles speaks directly on that because this is focusing on all things foundational. It's like you're organizing yourself and truly preparing to start pushing forward and moving this resistance out of the way, Aries. This Ace of Cups in reverse at the sacral. You simply have nothing left to give. I feel that these situations, family-related, work-related, and for I feel a lot of you, romantically related, they've just completely drained you out. I feel that your mental, physical, and emotional capacity to deal with these situations is now reminiscent of a barren wasteland, Aries. You truly understand, for the first time, I feel really ever in this capacity, how the relationships that you have in your life on this emotional level have the ultimate say in how you're able to push forward in these other areas of your life. You're starting to see how not having the support around you that you need is truly the deciding factor whether you have success in other areas of your life. Take it as it fits. You really need to be surrounded with as much positivity as possible right now, Aries. And if this means you need to go it alone, then so be it. And I think that you're perfectly comfortable doing this if need be. There's a major mindset shift taking place inside the Aries collective in order to truly step into your power and get back out on the front lines and start pressing forward in the direction of your North Node. You being the first sign of the zodiac, Aries. We need you functioning inside of the best possible version of yourself that exists on any timeline, especially considering where we are in the world right now. I was talking about in the Scorpio reading that there's so much chaos and uncertainty. Now's not a time to hold back or even hesitate. All of us, whether you're an Aries or not, need to be moving in a very deliberate, very forceful kind of fashion. It's like you truly need to go out there and take what you know is yours by divine rights, Aries. You also have this deep understanding now, Aries, that our reality really is an illusion to keep us from seeing the spiritual battle that all of us are engaged in with every waking minute of our lives. You're starting to have understanding now that there's this constant fight between your shadow self and the most aligned, high vibrational version of yourself. You understand now that most, if not all, the people that have ever come onto your path, Aries, have worked in a systematic fashion to try and trigger your shadow, to keep you from stepping into your power, keep you behind the scenes, so to speak, as opposed to out on the front lines, like I just mentioned. See, they know that if they can get you to relinquish your power in some capacity, then they have a better chance on getting a win over you. And who is they, right? Well, Aries, they would be representative of this force in the universe that all of us deal with on a daily basis, the force that will show up inside our family members, our so-called friends, people we get wrapped up in romantic connections with. Can be anyone, really. But this force, it's a darkness, it's the shadow. This shadow energy is all an extension of, well, the devil. You see, Aries, you have a purpose down here to fulfill your mission and reach your destiny in this life cycle. However that may look for you. Each one of you is going to have a strategic set of plans that was given to you by the divine before you even incarnated into this life cycle. Your purpose is to remember what that was, or enough of it, align yourself, reestablish that connection with the divine, and press forward. And what is that purpose? What is in that mission statement? Well, although it's going to be different for each and every one of you, Aries, there are two pieces of vital information I can give you. Number one, your purpose is going to have to do in some capacity with the greatest struggles that you have ever faced in your life. Now, a very basic example of this, so you can try and apply this where you see fit, is an individual who goes through some form of psychological and quite possibly physical abuse as a child. As this person gets older, they manage to heal that inner child, face that shadow energy that was projected onto them, usually by people in their family, and then being put in a position to help heal other people who are suffering with the same spiritual ailments. You see, those are all spiritual in nature. Physical abuse, mental abuse, it's spiritual. It's a form of oppression. It's a form of spiritual abuse. But when you're able to overcome these things in your life and heal yourself, you are then gifted, you are blessed by the divine and positioned to be able to show others the way. Now, this is just an example. There's so many different ways this can show up in your life, Aries. And it can be much more complex than that as well. But hopefully that will give you something to work with. And the second tip that I can give you here, Aries, has to do with that inner calling, that true heart's desire, that thing that you feel drawn to, pulled towards, that thing that maybe other people that have come on your path told you wasn't for you, told you that, oh, you'd never be able to pull that off. You can't do that. You're not cut out for that. Whatever that may be, the thing that no matter what you do, you can feel pulling you from within. And again, it usually has something to do with being able to assist the collective, give back. For some people, you could be a public speaker. You could be a singer. You could be an artist. But there's always going to be an element of healing amongst all of that. That's what I truly believe, Aries. The areas in your life that you've been deterred from developing. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Wow, what an energy. The Fool. The Tower. Mars, Aries, Scorpio energy at the heart. This is so clear. This is so clear, and it literally follows everything I just said. The Fool is all about taking chances. You have this new beginning here with this Tower at the heart chakra, this true heart's desire. Look, there's those people. Oh, no, that's not for you. You can't pull that off. And then here you are pulling it off. See, the Aries collective has been surrounded by people that aren't supportive or have a limit to how much they support you. You see, I feel for Aries, you've been surrounded by people that support you as long as it's one step beneath where they are in life. Very narcissistic energy, and I feel that this is romantic connections for a lot of you. See, you're that fire energy, but there's a massive emphasis on emotions in this reading. And you know, with this Ace of Cups upside down at the sacral, it's like an energy of not allowing yourself a sense of relief. You know what it is, Aries? I feel like, male or female, I don't care, and I'm just going to say it, but I honestly feel that some of you need to have a really deep, guttural cry, right? One of those cries that just comes from your belly, a cry that's just been pent up for so long, a cry that you would have once looked down on yourself for having. You know, Aries, I know this energy. Being a Scorpio, I have that Mars energy as well. I'm not somebody who cries. You know, I could probably count how many times I've cried in the past few years on one hand, probably less. But I will say this, the last time I remember crying, which was maybe 3 years ago, it came from my gut. I went out into the middle of nowhere and I screamed to the heavens. I felt these major karmic cycles in my life closing out, and I was asking God to release me once and for all from specific patterns in my life that I've been repeating for several years. I finally had a different vantage point and was able to see some things in a way I hadn't seen them before. So I took it to God, and God pulled that cry out of me, Aries. And I remember I couldn't breathe. I felt like a sword was being pulled out of my stomach. But my God, Aries, the sense of relief that I felt after that was, well, I haven't cried since, because I truly haven't felt like I've needed to. Aries, I'm getting something very similar for you here, okay? It's like you need to have this release of emotion privately, just between you and God, right? In order to break through this portal. It's like a rebirthing of you, Aries. But there's an emphasis on facing these emotions, and I feel that this is the key to finally release yourself from this cycle, whatever this may represent for you, Aries. You have a whole new beginning here, and it's massive. This tower, well, it's the most violent energy in the tarot. And when you get it at the heart position in my readings, this is massive. It indicates huge changes and a breakthrough that you've never had, ever, in this capacity, Aries. This is on another level. But this is happening with all the zodiac signs in some capacity. It's going to be different for all of you. But it's like you need to implement a piece of one of the other archetypes, right? To be able to break through to the other side. It's like you're implementing this scorpionic energy. Scorpio being a water sign. But Scorpio is also very fiery in nature. There's such a similarity there because of this Mars energy. But it's like you need to borrow a little something from the Scorpio archetype to be able to break through. And it's so interesting because this is the exact same thing that's happening inside the Scorpio collective. They need to borrow a little of your fire. And what do we have at the throat, please? Three of Wands, Aries, that is your energy again, right at the throat. What a card to follow everything I've just said. Visionary energy, preparing to step into this expansive energy. It's like you have your back to the past, right? You're shedding a little tear as you're staring out over this vast region. It's like an energy of the world being in the palm of your hands, like anything is possible now. Finally leaving it all behind. It's an energy of you finally accepting and adjusting to this new version of yourself and where you're going, embracing all the emotions, going after these visions that you have in your mind for your life. And anybody who stands in your way, just completely sidestepping these individuals, not even giving them the time of day. If they don't support you, you don't want to hear what they have to say. You simply don't care anymore, Aries, because it hasn't gotten you anywhere by listening to any of these individuals' opinions of what you should and shouldn't be going after in your life. And you know, something you need to think about here, Aries. What's the point of listening to people's opinions in regards to what it is you want to do in your life if they themselves have never been there, right? We always forget about that. This is something I used to do all the time. Asking people opinions about things I want to achieve in my life, expecting them to give me a positive reaction, but always met with a negative reaction. And now looking back, I see that it was because none of these people had actually tried to go after their true heart's desires. How can you expect anybody like this to support you on your path when they can't even do it for themselves? And most of the time, it's going to be the ones closest to you. Do you think that these individuals, Aries, want to see you succeed in areas of your life that they didn't have the courage to go after themselves? Absolutely not. You don't align with these kinds of individuals anymore. You don't owe them anything. Just because some of them may be blood related, just because some of them may be people that have been in your life since you were younger, just because you're in a romantic relationship with somebody, these are no longer good enough reasons to hold you back from going after your dreams, period. We're entering into a completely different new life cycle, a new world, and this will just not stand. You will be left behind, Aries. You see, everything I'm saying to you right now is shadow Aries energy. Aries is fire. You go after what it is you want and you take it. You're this born leader, bold, powerful, and courageous energy, and you don't allow anybody to hold you back. And another thing, Aries, anybody who thinks that they should be able to dictate your moves in your life needs to be removed immediately, because this is somebody who's playing God. They're essentially fighting with God, because this inner calling that you have all has to do with your mission, your inner calling. God calling you from within. Come on, Aries. We got to get you on path. And then these people around you say, nah, I wouldn't do that if I was you. So now you can see very clearly what I mean about this shadow force working through these people. They are tentacles of the devil. What do we have at the third eye, please? Oh, wow. Okay, we're going to take both of these. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. King of Wands. I literally just spoke this card into existence. King of Wands represents this bold and powerful, courageous energy. That's you, Aries, Leo, Sag energy at the third eye. That is who you are. And then literally God at the crown. Come on, Aries, this way. Everything I'm saying is right on target. Hierophant, Taurus energy at the crown. Direct orders from the divine. And these individuals trying to stand in the way of that. What does that say about them? See, Aries, once you start looking at things from this higher perspective, and you think about things in terms of energy, light, dark, just really putting things down onto a simple scale of good and evil, God and devil, yin and yang, whatever makes the most sense for you in your particular situation, you'll start to see much more clearly how this universe works. Every single action we take in our life can be put down onto this simple scale. Where does it fall? What would God tell you to do? I always ask myself this. If I'm feeling confused on which direction I should go, I simply say to myself, what would God tell me to do? And I always find the answer that I'm looking for. Always. Another good one is to remove yourself from your current set of circumstances and look at your life like you're looking at it through the eyes of the universe, the divine, God. Step outside the fishbowl, so to speak, which is just another way of speaking about what I just said here, right? Pretend you're not you for a minute and then decide how to move. See, we become so consumed with all these distractions inside our reality, it becomes very, very difficult to see how and where to move. I'm picking up on this very innovative, very fierce energy inside the Aries collective right now. It's like you've just really come out of the 8th house of Scorpio. This is what I feel. I feel so much Scorpio inside your energy, right? Scorpio is that phoenix rising from the ashes energy. It's the energy of transformation. This is what's... we are in Scorpio season, so this is probably why I'm picking up on this energy for you, Aries, not to mention the Mars connection there between you and Scorpio. Very powerful. When you combine that scorpionic energy with the Aries energy, there's nothing more powerful than that. That's it. That's the full transformative weight of the divine crashing down on a reality that is no longer in alignment with who you've become. What do we have at the foundation, please? Oh, the sun. Boon. Leo energy. There it is again. Aries, if you haven't seen my readings before, these next 3 cards are shadow energies. This is showing us what's happening behind the scenes. This energy is, I feel for you, showing up in the individuals around you. Could be your own negative self-talk as well. In fact, I think it's a little bit of both for most of you. But this is an energy here of self-doubt. It's an energy of not being able to focus on positive things in your life because of your surroundings, which puts you in, I just heard so clearly, an emotional spiral. And I just heard emotional retrograde. Ace of Cups in reverse. So it's like repeating the same cycles over and over again. For a lot of you, this is going to be an X. I'm getting it heavy right now. It's like this person is glued to you, spiritually speaking. You can't shake them. I feel for a lot of you as well. I picked this up in the Scorpio reading. Picking up it again. I'm picking it up again here intuitively. It's like the energy of a binding spell, making it damn near impossible to get away from this individual. What do we have at the sacral, please? Wow. Unbelievable. Ace of Cups stacked with Ace of Cups. So this is Ace of Cups in reverse, but I also read this card as Ace of Cups in its negative polarity. So essentially also a reverse. I'm on my second deck of cards, 156 cards. And out of all of those, we get Ace of Cups in reverse stacked with Ace of Cups in its negative polarity. Right after I mentioned that I felt that this person used something to bind you, to bind themselves to you. And I'm also having a tremendous amount of ringing in my ears right now. Okay, so what I'm getting here, Aries, you're going to start feeling this energy dissipate once you self-empower and get moving. But because a lot of you are still engaged in these cycles, or maybe it's still fresh since you've moved these cycles, you still feel this pull. It's like this energy won't let you go. And going back to what I said about having that deep guttural cry, right? And I mentioned to all of you that I was begging and pleading with God to help me break away from these cycles, right? It's an energy of let me go. Let me go. It says it all. It's like I'm seeing this. It's flashing back and forth between male and female. So they're allowing me to give this message to all of you, whether you're a male or a female. But it's essentially a really attractive male or female that you're all dealing with. That's how you see them, right? But on the spiritual plane, this individual is a slithering, drooling, vile demon. If you could only see what I'm seeing, Aries, you would never, ever look back. You wouldn't even think twice. This happened to me. It's happened to me a few times this past few years. By asking the divine for assistance, they started to give me visions of people that I couldn't get out of my energy. I just started to see these people in a different way. I just started to see the entity attachments they had on them. Without even seeing these people face to face, I just started to think about them in a specific way. My idea of them completely changed, is really what it comes down to. I feel like the divine's going to help you with this, Aries. They're going to bless you with this sight, right? It's like you just no longer see these people in the same way that you did before. It's like it allows you to move on. This could even have to do with friends, family members. It can be anybody across the board, just somebody who you just can't get out of your energy. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Wow, Six of Wands, Leo energy. It's like this is how you start to see them, right? Hi, Aries. Don't you love me, Aries? Murmur. Six of Wands, Leo energy at the solar plexus. Unbelievable. It's right there at that solar plexus position. So this Six of Wands is an energy of lacking confidence. It's an energy of allowing yourself to be taken advantage of. And it's right there at the solar plexus. Your solar plexus is all related to your confidence. Blocked solar plexus energy, feeling powerless or inferior to these energies. See, this is what's going on behind the scenes, right? The shadow energy. So these are the tactics they're utilizing against you. They want you to doubt yourself. They want to bind you emotionally to them. And they don't want you to have any confidence to be able to move forward, recognize your true power, and move forward into this Fool energy. This Ace of Cups, stacked with this Ace of Cups, this is also you not accepting this now. So we're starting to get a different message there. It's like, no thanks. I see what's really in that cup. It's like a cup of poison. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, for some of you, this could have definitely happened, right? Putting little potions inside your food or your drinks. I'm getting that here. You'd be surprised how many people do this, Aries. I had somebody do this to me. I didn't know at the time. I didn't know until afterwards. But a lot of these things they'll put in your food and drinks, it creates this sort of sense of madness. Really hard to explain. But it's as if it primes you so they can stick their energy to you, right? It's like sanding something down before you paint it. Oh, wow. But it's spiritual in nature, priming you for the curse. What do we have at the heart, please? Oh, wow. Belith, wastrels, and vagabonds, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. So this is the Knight of Cups read in its negative polarity. Follows what I just said perfectly. Whenever I get the Knight of Cups from this deck, it's like somebody doing love spells on somebody, playing with potions. This never ends well. Well, not for them. See, eventually, people wake up to this. And then the karma these individuals get for tampering around with people's free will like this is so unbelievably extreme. They ruin their entire life for doing something like this. Because when you think about the amount of time you can take from somebody by bending their free will to be in a connection with you that they may not have otherwise been involved with, keeping you away from your mission and your destined path. Oh my God, Aries. The karmic consequences for this is so extreme. It usually sends these people, well, into that madness that I picked up on, right? It goes back. Frankenstein returns home. It says right there, wastrels and vagabonds. So this is just not somebody that can get anybody to connect with them without some sort of spell work or tampering with their free will. And then we have Izalel, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, Page of Pentacles, loyalty. And now you're on your way, Aries. Complete shift onto the new timeline. This is an energy of manifestation. It's also an energy of seeking abundance. And it's right underneath this tower. So, logically speaking, when it comes to the basic narrative of this reading, the card that I would probably choose to follow this tower for you, Aries, would be this Page of Pentacles. It's like the first step, right? And look, he's even taken a little step up. And the pages are young energies, but to me, they always signify the beginning of something. And given that it's Earth energy, Pentacles, it's emphasizing your manifestations now coming into your actual reality. They're here for you. Page of Pentacles also represents an energy of opportunity. In its most simple and general form, it's a new job, something like this. What do we have at the throat, please? Too many cards. I just saw the Wheel of Fortune and the Devil. So it really speaks about what I'm picking up here. Six of Wands again, Leo energy. So we have Six of Wands there and Six of Wands here. We have the negative polarity and the positive polarity. And look at the way it's framing all of this energy. It's like a perfect design. And see, this energy here, Aries, bridges us from the negative polarity to the positive polarity. So these are all shadow energies, demons, right? And then we go into the angel energy, the positive polarities. So you go from the Six of Wands, lacking this confidence, all based off of these tactics they were using against you, into the Six of Wands in its positive polarity. Sahia, God who took evil, right? Goes along with what I was saying about going outside and having that guttural cry. Having that conversation with God, giving it to God. Longevity protects against infirmities. So God now protecting you, mentally speaking, from being susceptible to these energies any longer. And this Six of Wands represents success and victory. It's an energy of self-confidence. So a complete turnaround, Aries. And it's right underneath that Three of Wands. Everything is connecting here. What do we have at the third eye, please? Four of Swords. Libra energy at the third eye. Ha'el, the God of Trinity. Mission, protects against slander and impious people. And see how this angel is laying on the lion, and the lion is really popping there. It's in red to emphasize this courage, right? Right underneath that King of Wands, which is all about courage and power. It's like an energy of you now in this new timeline, thinking back to everything you've overcome, understanding how everything had to happen the way it did to get you to where you are. Because like I said earlier on in the reading, you're starting to understand that your greatest struggles in your life are all a part of your mission. What do we have at the crown to close this out for my Aries, please? Oh, unbelievable. Oh, wow. What a perfect way to end this reading. Death, Scorpio energy, Mamma Mia. God, the end of the universe. Endings and rebirth influences health and longevity. This card is the phoenix rising from the ashes. That's what this card represents. Complete transformation and rebirth. And confirms everything I said about feeling this heavy scorpionic energy throughout your reading. And what do we get at the very end of the reading? The death card, Scorpio energy. This is a complete transformation, Aries. Like I said, this is what you're going through right now. And it's right on time, given the fact that we're literally inside Scorpio season. It's the time to do it. I have nothing further to add to this reading, Aries. It's simply a perfect reading. So I hope that there's some messages in here that can help support you during this time on your path. And just know that God is right here for you. You just need to go out in the middle of nowhere, Aries. Maybe try what I was talking about, okay? Pull that metaphorical sword out of your stomach and call out to God, and then watch in the days that follow the transformation that you've triggered into your life. Hierophant stacked with the death card. Death to the old, a beginning of the new. Aries, this is the energy I have available to you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donations, Aries. Take care.